Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Cosplay Guild. Today I want to talk about convention hotels and roommates because your hotel can make or break your entire weekend. A good hotel can feel like a luxurious home base where rest is just a short walk away from the con floor. A bad hotel can have you marching a half a mile in full cosplay, paying crazy Uber fees and losing time and energy before the weekend even really gets going. And if you're not careful, one bad hotel decision can sour your whole convention experience. So today I'm going to break down everything you need to know about booking a hotel for your next cosplay convention. First, let's talk about finding a hotel that is actually right for you. Before you even book anything, you need to plan first. Figure out what you actually need out of your lodging experience and whether having a host hotel matters to you. A host hotel is usually the hotel the convention is based out of, along with the closest neighboring hotels with it. These are usually the most convenient options because they give you the shortest distance between you and the con floor. If you're willing to drive, then look at hotels a little further out, but make sure that they're actually accessible from the con. Think about what going back and forth to the con is really going to look like. If you're walking, are you actually prepared to go through multiple city blocks in full costume? If you're driving, do you know what parking is going to cost and how bad the traffic patterns are? If you're using rideshare apps, understand now that prices can and will jump when demand gets high. When you're shopping for a hotel room, you also need to know your non-negotiables. Do you want one king bed or two queens? Do you need a continental breakfast every morning? Do you care if the room has a microwave or fridge? Because not every room gives you those things. I've had times where I went pre-con grocery shopping just to find out I had nowhere to store or cook the food. That's the kind of mistake you only want to make once. Now let's talk about hotel room drops. If you want any real shot at getting the most in-demand rooms, you need to know about hotel room block releases, also known as the drop. A lot of conventions release access to hotels at specific times, and when that happens, thousands of people are fighting for the same rooms all at once. You can usually find that information on the convention's official website or their social media accounts. Back in the day, when the links went live, it was basically survival of the fastest. Everybody had to rush in and grab those rooms before everything vanished. Some conventions may still work like that, but now a lot of them use queue systems. You'll get sectioned off into waves and may only have about 15 minutes to pick your hotel, room type, and length of stay. For the busiest conventions, getting a host hotel outside the release window can be nearly impossible. So once you know your favorite convention's drop times, set reminders. 5 minutes before, 15 minutes before, whatever you need to make sure you are ready when the time comes. And don't put all your hopes into one hotel. Have backup plans. Have your top 3 options ready because when the clock starts, you're not going to have time to sit there comparing every single detail between hotels. And while we're here, do your hotel research properly. Start with the convention website. They usually list host hotels and sometimes offer a reduced group rate. Pay close attention to how far the hotel really is from the con. 3 miles in the city is not the same as 3 miles back home. Compare pricing and reviews on sites like Google, Hotels.com, Expedia, and anywhere else you might trust. Those are always good places to check if you missed the original room drop. And if all else fails, you can always contact hotels directly. Some hotels have loyalty programs and perks that are worth looking into if you plan on traveling every year. And even if your hotel choice sells out, keep checking. People cancel rooms all the time, and sometimes a room opens back up for a short window. You really won't know unless you check. Now let's say your convention does not even have a formal room block drop. Maybe it's a smaller con or it's just not organized that way. You still want to book as early as possible. A convention is not a secret and rooms do not sell out by accident. The second the con is announced, you're already in competition with everybody else trying to get the best room. As rooms fill up, prices rise and your options shrink. So go ahead and book something early, then review the cancellation and refund rules in case you want to change your mind later. You can always keep looking for a better deal, but you need something to fall back on. There may be time where every room everywhere is sold out, and you don't want to be figuring that out at the last second. And if you're not happy with the room you booked, keep checking the area every couple of weeks. Availability changes. A host hotel room might open up. Somebody may cancel their reservation closer to the con. The important thing is that you secure a better room. Make sure you cancel the old one. Hotels will absolutely charge you for not showing up. And that is the last surprise charge you need right before a convention. But now let's get into the booking process itself. The actual booking process is not difficult, but you need to pay attention. Usually you're choosing between one king bed, 2 queens, or sometimes a suite. Suites cost more obviously, but they can also give you a lot more breathing room with with living areas, kitchens, and extra space. Whatever room you choose, make sure you understand exactly what you're signing up for. Pay attention to nightly rates, taxes, and added fees. And most importantly, understand the deposit. A hotel deposit can be one of the most brutal surprise charges of the whole weekend. Sometimes it's a flat amount like $500. Sometimes it costs the price of 1 or 2 nights in the room. Either way, you need to be ready for it. Also check whether the hotel offers early check-ins or not. Because with normal check-in times often being around 4 p.m., the last thing you want after a long drive is to hear you still cannot rest for a couple of hours. I've been there and it's miserable. So plan accordingly. Have your payment method ready, know what your check-in situation is, and avoid arriving with all your luggage and nowhere to put it. Most of the time, reserving a hotel room itself is free, but some of the more high-demand hotels do require an upfront deposit just for part of the stay. Once you do book the room, screenshot all your confirmation information. Do not rely on your phone to behave when you need it the most. Have proof of your reservation in case anything gets mixed up. Now let's talk about convention roommates. Let's say everything goes well and you secure a room, but then you realize the total is over $1,000 and you do not want to eat that cost alone. That is where roommates come in. Convention roommates, when chosen well, can make the weekend more fun, more affordable, and full of memories that last way beyond the con. When chosen badly, they can ruin your entire experience. So you need to be careful about who you're inviting into the same space where you're sleeping, changing, and trying to decompress after a long day. Finding roommates is not hard. In fact, if you're not careful, you can end up with too many people and even more wig stands. Start with people you already trust. Close friends first, and then maybe friends of friends. Ask around and vet people one-on-one before you lock anything in. And if all else fails, you can always make posts online and see who is looking, but even then, use common sense and screen people properly. Once you have your roommates lined up, establish the rules early. Figure out what each person owes and when the money is due. Plan the possibility that somebody drops out, because no matter how locked in somebody seems, life happens. And if someone backs out, the rest of the room still needs to have a safety net. Keep the rules simple. If you have a strict sleep schedule, say that up front. If you want quiet hours, say that up front. If you want party hours, say that too. Talk about guests, talk about drinking, talk about sleeping arrangements. The more that gets handled before the convention, the fewer awkward problems you're dealing with when everyone is tired and already stressed out. Now let's talk about maximizing your shared space. During the convention, your hotel is your base camp. That is where you rest, decompress, repair, reset, and get yourself together. So organize the room in a way that keeps it functional. Give people their own areas for luggage and cosplay supplies so things don't have to be mixed together. But some places like bathrooms and mini fridges are naturally going to be shared spaces, but the room as a whole does still need some structure. Pick out designated spots for food and water, charging, changing, and cosplay repairs. If someone needs a lot of mirror time, just talk about it. If someone needs space for cosplay repairs, just communicate it to the group. And as the weekend goes on, take a little time to keep the room from becoming a disaster zone. A messy room gets frustrating fast. The goal is to keep the space fair, functional, and easy for everyone to use. Now let's talk about what to actually pack, because a prepared room is a happy room. Not every outlet is going to be in a useful place, so bring extension cords. Bring extra chargers, bring power banks. Don't set yourself up to be stuck in the con floor with a dying phone. Bring your own food and water where you can. Snacks, non-perishables, and reusable insulated water bottles can save you a lot of money and trouble across the weekend. Bring your cosplay repair kit too. Damage happens no matter how good your build is. Bring whatever helps you get in and out of the cosplay safely and efficiently. Contact solution, makeup remover wipes, a mini sewing kit, spare contact cases, whatever you might need. I personally have had to run to the pharmacy first thing in the morning because I thought one contact case would get me through the entire weekend. It did not. So think about the smaller things too. Trash bags, cleaning supplies, paper plates, the kind of stuff that becomes a problem the moment you realize you don't have it. So let's talk about the check-in. Show up on time with your ID and payment ready. Have your deposit ready so you can get your keys without a problem. Make sure you get enough key cards for the entire room. And honestly, ask for extra because somebody is probably going to lose one. Once you know the room number, communicate it to the whole group. and make a plan for who is getting what key. Once you get into the room, inspect it. Make sure it is the room you actually reserved. Make sure there is no damage you could get blamed for later. Then find your section of the room and get your stuff set up. And once everybody arrives, go back over the arrangements just to make sure everybody is still on the same page. From there, enjoy your weekend. And finally, let's talk about checkout. As the convention comes to a close, start collecting your things before checkout time sneaks up on you. Ideally, have a list of everything you brought and check it off. Go through your own stuff carefully and make sure no one else's things got mixed in with yours. If something is missing, check every bag, every pocket, every hidden corner in the room. Things have a way of disappearing right when you are trying to leave. Help your roommates check for their things too. Once everything looks packed, do a final sweep of the room. Check the outlets, check the drawers, check under the beds, check all the spots people forget. Then confirm any final charges from the hotel before everyone goes their separate ways. Ask the hotel about the deposit so you know when to expect it back. And if there is any leftover money to settle between roommates, now is the time to handle it, or at least make plans to handle it in the future. If all goes right, your hotel becomes a strong part of your convention weekend instead of the thing that ruins it. You don't have to plan every little detail perfectly to have a good time. You just need a solid system. Plan for your room as early as possible. Know what your hotel expects from you. Know what you expect from your hotel. Keep the room organized, keep the group on the same page, and when it is time to leave, make sure that there is nothing left behind and nothing left unsettled. Because cosplay is already a huge investment of time, money, and energy. Do not let your hotel be the thing that ruins your weekend at the final hour. As always, thank you again for tuning in to another installment with the Cosplay Guild. Thanks again, our Patreon members. Your support really means a lot. If you want to watch another video, you can click here on the screen. But until then, see you next time.